If the name were Trump instead of Emhoff, it would be all over the news. Daily Mail, echoed by the New York Post, has a story. Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband, accused of striking a woman he was on a date with at the Cannes Film Festival back in 2012. They had been drinking, and he didn't like how she talked to the valet. He smacked her. She smacked him back.
Oh, Larry! Larry! Oh, are you all right? How did...
If this was Donald Trump, Trump Jr., or any Republican on planet Earth accused of slapping a woman, the media will be all over this. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the merch link in the description section. We got yard signs. What's a new thing we got? I mean, the favorite one that everybody likes is the Trump Vance shirt. And J.D. Vance killed it in the debate. I should make his own merch line. But anyway, shout out to J.D. Vance. Get the merch link. Discount code will pop up here. Link could be in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button on the video as well. That gives us a little bit momentum. Let's get into this. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I almost said roll the clip. All right, so let's talk about this real quick. Allegedly, Kamala Harris's husband slapped a woman in 2012, I believe. Slapped her so hard she spun around like a ballerina. Now, this is an accusation. This is alleged. Think about this for a minute. It's alleged. And why is the media not talking about it? Only The Hill and New York Post are even mentioning this. If this was Donald Trump, Brett Kavanaugh, any Republican in the history of this country, they would just be running this to no end. Mark Robinson allegedly, he denied it. He said it wasn't him. On a porn site, so if people can use your name, your pictures, they can get your email and date of birth. My stuff on Wikipedia right as we speak. Somebody can use your stuff and create an account. And people fall for the fact of thinking that he said he was a black Nazi. No real evidence, they run with the story. Brett Kavanaugh, woman from 40 years ago with zero corroborating witnesses, claim he did something to her and she don't even remember none of it except when he was in the room touching her. Come on, bruh. And they ran that out throughout media, people on TV crying, believe all women. They had a whole movement. Now Kamala Harris's husband is being accused, supposedly 3 witnesses, plus the woman who he allegedly slapped, and they don't want to talk about it. They're defending it. But listen to this woman, because she's dumbing in a bag of rocks. But I'm going to play the clip so you can hear the news story. But I'm glad that the other 2 people that's hosting this show had enough common sense to put her in her place. Roll the clip.
Doug Emhoff, Vice President Kamala Harris's husband, has been praised by Democrats for being a role model husband who manifests a different, softer, masculine.
No, Lord, can I just cuss one time? I just want to cuss one time on this video. He's a wussy. All right, can I say wussy? He's a wussy. They talk about a different alternative masculinity. No, he's a beta. He's a punk. He's soft. Soft as wet toilet paper on a marshmallow. Yeah, he's a weenie. These are the type of men that if I had a daughter, don't ever marry no limp wrist, weak, wet hand man like that. Anyway.
Energy. But that image may be getting more complicated. In what is an explosive allegation from the right-leaning Daily Mail, Emhoff allegedly hit a former girlfriend in 2012.
3 friends of the ex-girlfriend gave the scoop to the online website. They recounted the 2012 incident occurred at a film festival in France. The story in the Daily Mail went on to say that the second gentleman slapped his ex's face so hard she spun around.
Believe all women. No. Forget that. Believe all women. Remember? Believe her. We must believe all women. That's what y'all said. A woman just accused him of slapping her and making her do a tailspin. And do y'all believe her or not? We're supposed to believe our women, right? Oh. If it's against a Democrat, we don't believe women.
According to the Daily Mail, one of the friends said the ex, whose name was not released, called him in tears immediately after and described the alleged assault. Rising reached out to Harris's office, but we have not gotten a response.
The story was picked up by the New York Post. News Nation's Chris Cuomo weighed in on the media's coverage of this, or lack thereof, on his Wednesday night program. Let's watch.
If the name were Trump instead of Emhoff, it would be all over the news. Daily Mail, echoed by the New York Post, has a story. Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband, accused of striking a woman he was on a date with at the Cannes Film Festival back in 2012. They had been drinking, and he didn't like how she talked to the valet. He smacked her. She smacked him back. Ordinarily, I don't care about these stories. You could say, well, there may have been an assault.
Amen.
Well, she didn't go to the police. He's not really running. But again, if it were Trump or anyone related to him, it would be on every TV show that is on right now.
If true, this bombshell comes right after MSNBC host Jen Psaki on Sunday dubbed Emhoff the wife guy, and a mensch, a Yiddish term meaning a kind man. Let's watch.
Has also been an important part, an interesting part of how people have talked about your role here is how your role has reshaped the perception of masculinity. And I'm not sure you planned on that, but you are an incredibly supportive spouse.
And come on, Brandon.
Does Emhoff live up to the wife guy persona? Last month, Emhoff admitted to having an affair in 2008 with the nanny and teacher Najee Naylor, whom he did get pregnant.
Everybody in Donald Trump bedroom, they want to know who he's sleeping with and who he got pent up somewhere. But then he slept with a nanny and got her pregnant. And this is the first time I've heard this. Why? Okay.
So, this is a pretty serious accusation from many years ago, and I am someone who thinks we should reserve a certain amount of skepticism for things that only come out many, many, many years later, for which there is difficulty to provide any evidence. I'm someone who believes very strongly in due process. Now, due process and the presumption of innocence are really only for the legal system. Obviously, people are free to reach whatever conclusion they want in their own personal moral judgment, or even in terms of, fitness to serve in office, although, of course, he's not the candidate. Kamala Harris is. But I do take Chris Cuomo's point that these things seem to get taken extremely seriously, no matter how long ago they were, if the person, by the media, if the person is a conservative or Republican.
Well,
100%.
Trump, specifically talking about Trump. Trump,
Right.
The people who've come forward.
Well, but not just Trump, Brett Kavanaugh, et
Sure,
cetera.
but they are people. They have names. They're not unnamed sources. These are 3 unnamed sources that are friends of the woman, the ex-girlfriend. They also said, and there's pictures from that night, this was in a very crowded place. It was a really long line at the valet. It was a public space. So it's interesting that 3 people who were not present, who were told supposedly by the woman that it had occurred, are the ones coming forward. Not the woman, not any other person who was there that night. And it's very convenient that it's coming up as we're very close to an election and they want to dismantle this beautiful image, the right-wing publication.
Well, it came.
Come on. She finna get cooked. I want you to put that seasoning on there. Put that seasoning on there and dab it a little bit. Get the moisture off the top, because he's getting ready to cook.
Now, the Kavanaugh stuff, again, which was so much longer ago, that came out right as he was about to become. Isn't it interesting? He's about to become a Supreme Court justice.
But that was a person with a name with evidence, okay? Politics.
Yeah, but
politics,
so
everyone-
was the person who accused Joe Biden, right? Tara Reid.
Yeah.
She was a person with a name.
And I would dispute the idea that there was evidence backing up Christine Blasey Ford's account of what supposedly happened. But that being said, even if we look at Trump, he's having to pay a multi-million-dollar judgment based, again, on one woman's word and no actual physical evidence, and a lot of actually contradictory details that put her account into question. So I think it's reasonable to say that the standards have fallen literally below the ground on whether or not we take allegations against conservatives or Republicans seriously.
100%. Smart woman. Marry a woman like this, okay? Marry a woman that's smart. Marry a man like this that's smart. These are just, what I've learned over the years is that people who have a brain think like this. People who are caught up in emotions think like this. There is no effing way you can say that this is so suspicious that Kamala Harris's husband is accused of slapping a woman, and she's the only one that was present that makes the complaint. But you don't think Brett Kavanaugh's situation is suspicious. You don't think Donald Trump grabbing by the is suspicious. You talking about Brett Kavanaugh? That man, Blasey Ford accused him of something he did in high school at a random party that nobody verified that ever existed. High school. Kavanaugh said, I wasn't there. This party never existed. There was no corroborating evidence that the party ever existed. This woman then go on, after Brett Kavanaugh has gone through, finished high school, college, where everything go down. I went to college. Everybody do their dirty deeds in college. That is prolific. You got alcohol. You got access to women. It's the first time you don't live with your parents. For many people, everybody getting nasty in college. He ain't got no accusations in college. Then the man was a judge for like 20 years. So he have no accusations as a college person and no accusations as a judge. This woman comes out at his confirmation hearing, or during his confirmation, 40 years ago. She's the only witness. Then she claims she don't remember crucial things that a person will remember if they can remember that this happened to them 40 years ago. For instance, she had to walk home. She don't remember how she got home. First of all, back when Brett Kavanaugh and them were around, there was no such thing as an Uber. There was no such thing as a taxi. Or at least it probably was a taxi, but how do you contact a taxi when you don't have a cell phone? You know what I'm saying? And then allegedly she lived like 8 miles away from this particular location that she claimed she was at. Her parents never give an account of this, and she claimed her parents never knew. So you tell me you at a party at night and you had to walk home, because no way you got a taxi. You walked 8 miles in the dark all the way home, and you somehow snuck in the house and your parents didn't know you were gone, didn't know you came in the house? Man, cut that. And then it was like 6 other women came out all of a sudden. But when it's a Republican, they don't care about the facts. They just accuse you.
My question is, how long have you been working on this story? How soon or how recent was it that you received word of these allegations that are being leveled against the potential first man?
So I've been working on investigations into Doug Emhoff for a little while. I mean, you can see, so I work for the US website dailymail.com, and we published in August a story about Doug having an affair with his daughter's teacher, grade school teacher at the time, her nanny. So I've been investigating him for a while. This story I've also been working on for several weeks. So, this was a thorough investigation, something that I put a lot of work into.
If it were Trump or anyone related to him, it would be on every TV show that is on right now. And that's why I think in the interest of fairness, you should look at it.
I don't blame you for bringing up the story because in fairness to Donald Trump, which is not something you hear me or most people say all the time, it is absolutely true. If this were him, it would be all over the place. It would be printed. It would be publicized everywhere. We also have to take into account 2018 when then Senator Kamala Harris, obviously, when the whole Brett Kavanaugh situation, not as far back as 2018, but when Brett Kavanaugh was obviously running for the Supreme Court, I think it was around that time, actually. And I remember her wearing all black and saying she was wearing all black. And I wore black today in support of all survivors of sexual assault or abuse. And it was a hashtag, believe survivors, et cetera, et cetera. And so when you do something like that, it's going to be politicized. And if people believe you've politicized it, the second they get an opportunity to politicize something against you or unfavorable to you, they are going to pounce on that.
Donald Trump smoozed up on a woman in a Macy's changing room. What? And you look at the woman and you go, what? Donald Trump don't even have women on his staff that ain't good looking. And he somehow pulled you in a bathroom when he's Donald Trump. He owned the hotel. He could just say, he could look at a woman and be like, come here. He could just go, room 206, or whatever you want, 206. And they already know what's temperature. And they going to come to this room and they're going to bring all their friends and it's going to be a freak off. That's how popular Donald Trump is. And for the women out here, y'all know y'all good women that's watching this. Don't try to act like women ain't doing this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Let's not play the game. Don't make me go down this path. I think people be acting like women are innocent. When I was in college and I was at University of Arizona, imagine LSU, imagine Ohio State, imagine Tennessee, imagine USC. I mean, we weren't even that good at football. Imagine these football schools. Alabama. You play football? You an athlete? That's all you do. Come on in here. Women do whatever. They'll do whatever with famous people. I remember when our running backs, Mike Bell, he had nothing to do with it, so I can mention his name. If you want to fact check, Mike Bell, when I came in at 2005 at the University of Arizona, Mike Bell was a superstar. If he had played for any other university with better coaches, he would have been a first round. He would have been probably be first running back taken. Dudes on the team used to act like they were Mike Bell to sleep with women because the women didn't know what he really looked like because they just see the helmet. So dudes be like, yeah, I'm Mike Bell. Women go sleep with the guy at a party in front of everybody because they think he Mike Bell. Anyway, let me move on. That tells me Donald Trump didn't have to rape nobody and take advantage of nobody because there's plenty of women that'll just do whatever with dudes with money. I dare you to go look at a celebrity's DMs as we speak. I was a cop with a guy, I'm not going to say his name. He was like, he wasn't famous. He a police officer. He making what I make, $50,000 a year before taxes. Women all in his DMs, all kind of nasty. I was blown away that he wasn't even a celebrity and he had women in his DM talking about what they want to do. Come on, y'all. Let's keep it real for 30 seconds. All right, I just wanted to make the point that Democrats are hypocrites. Why are nobody talking about the fact that Kamala Harris' husband is accused of slapping a woman and we're supposed to believe all women anyway? So how about we condemn him? But they're not because they're hypocrites, and without double standards, the left will have no standards. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm out of here.